What if I told you that taxation is a tool of control? A mechanism designed to keep the people in line while the elite hoard the wealth of society? What if I told you that the abolition of taxation is not just a pipe dream, but a necessary step in completing the Enlightenment's unfinished revolution? Think about it. We were told that liberty and equality were the guiding principles of this country. But what have we really seen? A system that pretends to give freedom while it forces us to pay for survival. We work harder, we earn less. And the elite, the ones who don't pay their fair share, grow even richer. Meanwhile, we remain trapped in a system of artificial scarcity, where taxation only serves to keep us bound to a cycle of labor that benefits the few. The Enlightenment was about freedom. Not just the freedom to vote, not just the freedom to own property. No, it was about true freedom. The freedom to live without fear, the freedom to choose how we live, what we do, and who we become. But the catch is that you can't have true freedom when scarcity rules the day. You can't have freedom when you're forced to sell your time, your energy, your potential just to survive. And you certainly can't have freedom when the wealth of the world is controlled by a tiny minority, when that wealth is used to manipulate, dominate, and keep the rest of us in line. The Founding Fathers began a revolution, but they never finished it. They threw off the monarchs, but they left the oligarchs in power. They declared all men are created equal, but allowed an economic system to thrive that undermines that promise at every turn. The abolition of taxation isn't just some utopian fantasy. It's a logical extension of Enlightenment principles. If we live in a world of abundance, where automation has removed the need for forced labor, then why are we still paying taxes to fund systems that only keep the rich in power? Why do we still accept a system that tells us you need to work just to survive, when technology has evolved to the point where we could all thrive without the need to constantly toil? Taxation as we know it is a remnant of feudalism. It's the way the rich extract value from the labor of the many. But the truth is, the systems of extraction are becoming obsolete. We have the technology to build a post-scarcity society, one where the wealth is no longer confined to a small elite, but instead shared by all. The only thing standing in the way is a fundamental shift in how we see the world and our place in it. So how do we get from here to there? How do we transition from a world where taxes fund oppressive systems to a world where taxation is no longer needed? It's a process. First, we start by radically redistributing wealth. We enact progressive tax policies that go after the wealthiest 1%, because right now, they're the ones who've hoarded everything. We don't just raise taxes on them, we take back the wealth they've stolen through tax havens, through corporate loopholes, and we make sure it goes back into the hands of the people, into healthcare, into education, into universal basic income. But that's not the end goal. The end goal is tax abolition. And it happens when we transition from a system of scarcity to one of abundance. Nationalize space mining, tap into the wealth of the asteroid belt, mine resources not for profit, but to fund the public good. Just imagine, we could use that wealth to fund the new economy, create universal housing, and expand access to healthcare. When that happens, the need for taxes as we know them will disappear. We'll still have systems in place to maintain order, but the revenue model won't rely on forcing people to give up their hard-earned wages anymore. Instead, it will come from abundant resources that benefit all people, not just the wealthy few. Imagine a world where we no longer live in fear of not having enough, a world where automation does the work, and we contribute to society because we choose to, not because we have to. Imagine no more worrying about healthcare costs, no more struggling to pay for rent, no more living paycheck to paycheck just to survive. Imagine being free to explore, to create, to innovate without the constant weight of scarcity holding us back. That's the future we can build when we abolish taxes. A world where human flourishing is the goal, where people can live their fullest lives without being crushed under the weight of economic necessity. A world where true liberty isn't just a slogan, but a reality for everyone. This is the final step in completing the Enlightenment project. This is the revolutionary path that leads us to the fulfillment of the promises America was supposed to stand for. And if we don't take this step, we risk falling into the same feudal systems that have dominated human history for thousands of years. But if we do take this step, if we can abolish taxation and create a true post-scarcity world, we will have finished the work. We will have finally built a society based on liberty, justice, and equality for all. The choice is ours. The road ahead is clear. But it starts now. It starts with us, with the choices we make today. So let's stop asking, why can't we have more? And start asking, how do we make it happen? This is our chance to complete the revolution.